We often have expectations in life about what something ought to be. And then in life, we also have disappointment. When we realize that we have been let down by something that we expected to be faithful to us. Quite often, we blame that something. We say, why were we betrayed? Why did this person do this to me? Why did the job that I spent many years serving let me down? Why did the game I spent much of my life for a year playing become boring and stale? It really doesn't matter whether you're talking about your career or a relationship or a video game. When we have incorrect premises that we hold dear to us in life, we get disappointed. You see, people do people things. They do what people are want to do. That's it. A game is a game. A job is a job. For that matter, your life is temporary too. None of it means more or less than exactly what it is at face value. We really love to attribute symbolic value to things. We see them as something more or something different than what they really are. That's something we have to work on. It's important to personal growth to be able to not take things personally in life. To know that things are going to work out how they work out. And don't expect things to be what they aren't. It's hard to do that. And it's easy to have a sense of frustration and anger when we put something up on a pedestal and then it doesn't live up to the unrealistic expectations that we had for it. To give you an example of this, I have a dog, and sometimes the dog pulls on his leash. He gets really excited when it's his time to get his dog food to eat. He's a very simple animal, and he also, despite the fact that he understands things I want him to do, will many times fail to do those things. Now, all in all, he's a good dog. There's nothing wrong with him as a dog. Of all the dogs I've experienced, he's probably one of the better ones. And yet, the fact that he knows he's not supposed to beg doesn't change the fact that I might turn around and see him peeking around the corner into the kitchen because he just can't avoid the temptation to beg. Despite the fact he knows he's not supposed to pull on the leash, he's always going to go back to that habitual behavior if I don't continually monitor, guide him, and actively work to regain his attention. That's a small example. But if I get frustrated with a dog for being a dog, it's not really that the dog did something wrong. That's not the problem. The problem is that I start to humanize the dog, and then I start to expect that he should follow the same style of thought and rules and self-discipline that I would expect of a person or of myself. And then I'm frustrated because, being a dog, he doesn't. That's my problem, not his. It's important for me to understand that. And then, of course, not let him do whatever he wants. He's still got to be trained. He's still got to behave. But I'm not going to be angry and frustrated at a dog for being what it is. That's what I signed up for when I got him, right? So, it's the same thing with life and other things. You get a job, and the company you work for is designed to make money. No surprise. Maybe you have a career that lasts for many years. Or maybe it just lasts for a little while. Maybe you start to get attached to the idea that you are part of some sort of a corporate family that cares a lot about you. And then you get frustrated when you realize that the company doesn't really care a lot about you, because its goal isn't to give you a better life. Its goal is to be profitable for shareholders. That's not a surprise. That's just the truth. In fact, it's not even really wrong. It's kind of how it should be. You signed up to do a job, not to get a social value out of it, not to have a sense of purpose in life given to you by it. So there's these flawed premises, and they add unhappiness and misery into our lives when we buy into them. When we think that people shouldn't be what they are and they should be more or different than what they are. When we think organizations should be more or different than what they are. When we start to look outside ourselves and we start to think that something beyond us should give us a sense of groundedness and meaning and value in our lives, we eventually will get let down, because the only true value that you can have that will give you a sense of peace, satisfaction, and cohesion emotionally comes from within. It comes from understanding the truth of a thing and knowing that no matter how much you want things to be more or different than what they are, ultimately, they just are what they are. The universe is unfolding exactly as it should. And if you feel like it isn't, it's not the universe that needs to change to align. It's you who need to revisit and check your premises, because contradictions do not exist. If you think you have a contradiction in your life, you need to examine your premise. Thank you for watching.